Yo, what is up, 007s? Welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to talk about most guys are losing, but you don't have to, right? You can separate yourselves from the 80% of guys who are struggling in life with money, confidence, women, any issue that you may be having. I have covered in this. We're going to jump straight into it. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Let's get straight to this, guys. So I do not want to waste your time. Here's the topic. So I want to start giving you guys an overview about what this is going to be about because I don't want to waste your time. If none of this sounds appealing to you, I don't want to waste it. So most guys are struggling not only in their dating lives, but their whole life. Money, looks, confidence, and skill sets. Basically, a wide variety of everything you need to be successful as a man. In this video, I will give you in-depth information on how to improve all of these categories because guess what? Your boy was losing not too long ago, and now that I'm finding my way, I want to pay it forward to you guys. A few years ago, I was at the lowest point in my life, depressed, broke, unattractive, and I hated waking up. I literally hated life. Like, I went to therapy. I did a lot of work to get to where I am now. I'm not where I want to be entirely because I feel like in life, there's never an end. But every day you should have a new goal and you should be working towards, making it. I want to change that for as many guys as I can. And if you follow this video all the way through, I promise it can help change your life forever. And that is a guarantee I will stick by, guys. Like, I'm not going to say that this video is going to make you rich as soon as you watch it or it's going to, make everything go away. But if you're willing to watch this video, be open-minded and do the hard work, I promise, bro, I swear on my life, like, you will see some results. Okay, so first thing, your mindset is making you lose, but we can fix this, right? So I remember when I first started understanding what was going on with me and why was I losing, why was I depressed, why was I upset. A lot of it was my mindset, how I viewed myself, how I had viewed myself my whole life, and I didn't even realize this. So most guys are unaware of their struggles because they are surrounded by people making the same mistakes, so they think this is normal. And this is completely true. Majority of the people in my life, they weren't doing the things that they wanted to do. They weren't happy. They were miserable. And I just kind of fell into it because naturally when you're around people who aren't doing the things that you want to do or they aren't doing well, you find yourself in that group. So there is a saying, you are the average of the 5 people you are around the most. And this is completely true. And this comes to multiple categories. It can come to your dating. Like if you're around guys who don't have success with women, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have success with women. If you're around guys who are broke majority of the time, chances are you're going to be broke. Not always, but I would say 90% of the time, you are who you hang around. Birds of a feather definitely flock together. If you view yourself as a guy who is not successful or happy in life, you will only deal with those experiences by changing your mindset. This will help you to pick up on things that will improve your life. Once I started realizing damn, I am unhappy and I'm not successful, my life isn't heading in the direction I wanted, that is when I started seeking help and searching for ways to change this because I care so much about myself, and I'm sure you guys care about yourself or you wouldn't be here right now, that, I was willing to do whatever it took. And that is what separates successful people from people who are struggling. It's just your willingness to do what needs to be done. And it's crazy because if every guy were to adopt this mindset, I would say 90% of guys' life would just change. Like the world itself would change. Imagine the version of yourself that is a winner or is successful, to sound less cliche, lol. Because I know saying oh, imagine yourself being a winner, I know that comes off as very Disney Channel, but nah, I'm being serious. Imagine the version of yourself that you want to be and figure out how he did it. This is called reverse engineering. Reverse engineering is literally just taking a result and going backwards to figure out what are the steps I need to take to get me to where I want to be. So when you do this, now you want to identify as this new version of yourself. The old version no longer exists. Let's break down each category. So what I mean by this is, let's say you want to be a guy who's well-rounded. You want money, you want women, you want happiness, you want confidence. You just want a dream life, right? Okay. Figure out, what would that version of me do? The person who has the dream life, what are the steps that he take every day? Once you figure this out, you can write it down, you can brainstorm, put it in your notes app on your phone. That's what I normally do. Once you do this, You have to let go of what you've been doing. The last however many years of your life, that's no longer you. You are now this version of yourself that works hard, that puts into work, that has a positive mindset, that is willing to take over his life. You're ready to take over and you are confident about this. You're feeling pretty good. So purpose comes first. Now let's talk about purpose because this is the most important thing for, I believe, every man. And if you think I'm wrong, please leave a comment. I'm open to discuss, but purpose is the most important because it gives you something to live for and it will aid you to prevent depression. Okay, so what I mean by this is purpose is what wakes you up every day. Purpose is what motivates you, what drives you, because a lot of guys don't have a why for why they want to be successful or why they want to win or why they want to live. And it can't just be you. It can if you want, but normally just making something about yourself is never a big enough reason to deal with the struggles that come your way, right? Like a lot of people will give up on themselves, but when they're doing it for their kids or they're doing it for their family or they're doing it for their loved ones or their spouse or significant other, whoever, when they are doing it for something deeper, something bigger than them, that's when you will be able to push through things you never thought you'd push through. Because to be honest, if I was just living life and trying to find success and value just because of me, I wouldn't work as hard. But the fact that I have a beautiful girlfriend that I would love to start a family with one day, and then I have my family I was born into that I want to be able to help retire my dad. I want to be able to help pay my parents' bills. When I have kids, I want them to be set up for success. I don't want them to have to struggle and go through things that I've went through. You know, I want them to come into a life where they are already set. That's what drives me. That's what makes me want to wake up every day and be better, right? So most guys are depressed because they lack purpose. I've went through this myself. Back in 2019, dropped out of school, super depressed because I had no reason to live. Like I didn't have anything that I just listed. So, you know, it just took me some time. But if you're living without purpose, you are lacking direction, which means you will find yourself unsure of what is important to you. Living life without direction is one of the most dangerous things that so many people do. And, you know, I can't really bash them because I did it for a lot of my life. Like you'll get up, you'll go to work, you'll live check to check. You don't really have any real goals. You're just surviving. And often you'll find yourself depressed because you don't have anything to look forward to. It's just like there was a guy, he became like a multimillionaire. He sold his like tech company and he was saying now he's super depressed because he's a super rich guy, but all his life work he already achieved. So he doesn't have anything to do. So he's sad. Even though he's rich and has all this money, that's why a lot of rich people, you see them sad and committing harm to themselves because they don't have anything else to work for. Everything they ever wanted, they have now. So you have to always try to find some ways to keep yourself engaged, to keep yourself having something to work towards. It's like when you complete a game and you have the most OP weapons and all this stuff in a game. Like, damn, now this game is boring. I have everything. It's fun when you're trying to reach the end of the game or you're trying to earn money or do whatever. It's fun then. But once you have that, it's like, damn, what now? So, you know, you always want to be goal setting. Every time you hit a goal, okay, boom, what's next? How can I make this bigger? Yes, you want to enjoy life and be satisfied with what you have, of course, but you always want to strive for more. Even if it's not just money, it could be personal relationships. It could be networking. It could just be anything that you want to achieve. It doesn't have to always just be money or women or the typical things. Having a purpose that you can work towards will not only make you more successful, driven, and happy, it will also make you more attractive to women and networking with better acquaintances. A lot of guys wonder, okay, how do I become more confident with women? Or how do I become more confident in business or whatever you're trying to achieve? It literally just having a purpose, especially when it comes to women, because most guys don't have a purpose. Most guys are just living without direction. So whenever you can sit down with a woman and say, look, this is what I'm on. This is what I'm trying to build. This comes first before anything. She has no choice but to respect you as a man and admire that, because most guys, their whole purpose in front of a woman is just to get sex. But obviously when you have more than that, it's like, boom, you just separate yourself instantly without even having to do anything crazy. And when it comes to networking, people with money only want to be around people who are passionate. A lot of people think, oh, I have to have money to be around people with money. No. When people with money or people with, success get around other people who want it just as bad as them, if not more, that makes them want to bring you on because they know you're relentless and they know you're willing to do what it takes to get to that next level. And that's what successful people surround themselves with. They don't surround themselves with people who are just living life with no direction, because honestly, that is just going to bring them down. That is a liability. So they want to be around someone who is an asset. How to find your purpose, because everybody talks about purpose, but when I was looking for my purpose, nobody gave me a blueprint. I had no idea what to do. I just had to figure it out on my own, and I don't want you guys to have to go through that. So that's why I'm here. Go out and try new things and figure out what you're passionate about. Some people, they naturally know what their purpose is. Some people, they're gifted at something, whether it's playing an instrument, singing, just anything. Like, just think of any talent, any skill that you can make money off of. And I mean, boom, you're already on the right track. So for me, I had to go out and try new things. And the way that I found out this is my passion and my purpose is, I just felt so strongly about this stuff. When I was going through this, I just hated life every day. And it made me realize I'm not alone. There are other guys who hate their life and they're not living the way they want to live. And I always told myself, once I figure this shit out, I am going to help guys who are going through the same thing. And that's just what I care about. I just love it. It just doesn't even feel like work. These videos take me hours to make, and I don't care. I will do it every single day, and I could see myself doing it for the rest of my life. So, once you find that passion for something, generally that's your purpose. I heard Steve Harvey say, your purpose is the thing that you do the best with the least amount of effort. That's another way to put it. But once you do this, now it's time to figure out how you can improve, provide value, and earn more money. For me, my improvement was solving my own problems through hard work and through trial and error. Now I can provide value to you guys, and I'm earning money from, when I do consultations, whenever I get views on YouTube, I can get paid from that. And it's more than just money. Your purpose is going to be just more than money. The money is going to be a byproduct, but the thing that really is going to drive you is seeing the results. Like me getting comments from you guys, thanks, this video really helped me, it changed my perspective. You should be bigger, you're doing this, you're doing that. That means so much more to me than just the money. But this will also help your confidence, because whenever you are seeing results in your life, it will naturally make you more confident. But I'll get more into confidence as we go. Money is next. Okay. So obviously we need money to live, right? So you definitely need money in order to live and have experiences that will make your life more exciting. Everybody wants to live an exciting life. So it definitely takes money to live a more exciting life. So in 2019, right before COVID, I was broke. I dropped out of college. I was living with my parents, and I was extremely depressed. This went on until 2021. I finally started working in biopharmaceuticals, and I started making enough money to buy my dream car and move out. So this is actually pretty crazy. So in 2019, I was actually in school for cybersecurity and IT, and I really just did this because I wanted to please my mom. I wanted to basically just fit in. I always thought if I didn't go to college or I didn't follow the beaten path, I would be a failure, because throughout school and throughout my whole life, I'd always been told college, American dream, get a good job, you'll make money, you'll be able to have this, you'll be able to have this. And that's not the case for everybody. It's not meant for everybody to go to college. If you do want to go to college, there's nothing wrong with that. College is for some people. College is not for other people. For me, it just wasn't in the cards for me. So yeah, I was working a dead-end job in 2019. I was working at a clothing store. I was making like $14 an hour, if that. No, I wasn't even making that. I was making like $12 an hour, maybe. I wasn't making much money at all. And, obviously I didn't have money. It was just hard. I would always have to borrow money from my parents constantly. And it's crazy when you're living at home, you don't have bills and you're still having to borrow money because inflation just got crazy. But in 2021, I'll get into what I did in a second. Let's keep going. Then I'll get into what I did, how I bought my dream car and all that. So what are most guys missing? This is what you guys are here for. A skill set that will earn them a good salary. A lot of guys don't have skill sets, and it's not because they're not capable. It's more so because they just haven't been exposed to a good skill set. Because what do we learn in the first 12, 13 years of our life? Practically, to be honest with you, a bunch of BS. Honestly, a lot of the things we're taught in regular school is BS. We're never going to use it. And school really just creates an environment of workers. And like I said, if that's what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you can enjoy your life, that's all that matters. So, how do you obtain the skill set? You obtain the skill set by researching and finding something that will earn you money. And there are plenty of things out there that will earn you money. So you need money, so let's find a way to earn that. What did I do? Okay, so I had a friend who told me, more of a family friend than my personal friend, but I'll say I had a family friend who told me about a temp agency that will find you a job on the spot, and if you did well, you could possibly become permanent and earn more money. So I had no skill set and I had to go through a temp agency. What is a temp agency? Like I said, is basically a place you go there. They'll ask you basically what are you good at, or they'll try to find out more about you. You'll answer a couple of questions. It doesn't take long. And then they'll say, okay, well, this is what we have, and you can pick what company. So you choose a company. And basically, they have a contract with the company where you come in, you work for a certain amount of time, and if you do good, possibly the company could buy out your contract. They'll hire you. Now you have a full-time job. Now, are these jobs always the most glamorous? Not always. The job I had was actually pretty good because I ended up working for a pharmaceutical company, one of the biggest ones in the world, actually. And yeah, I just wrote it out for a few months. I was a temp. I had full-time hours. I earned more money than I've ever earned. And eventually I got hired. I was recognized because I went in, I busted my ass. The only thing I focused on was getting my work done. I didn't care about anything else other than getting hired. I was relentless, and I got hired at the company I work for now. And over the past couple of years, I've just kept moving up because I just put in that work. I just believe in going in, being good at whatever it is I do, and providing value. And I also took a certification, basically in BioWorks, biopharmaceuticals, and it just earned me more money. And I just kept expanding my knowledge. And on top of that, I do this as my business. And yeah, I'm just on the path to financial freedom fully. But yeah, I became permanent after a while, and now I have a high-paying skill set. I have a certification, I have work experience in pharmaceuticals, and I could go to basically any pharmaceutical company I want to. And I also could get out of the pharmaceutical industry because I also gained mechanical engineering skills as well. So I know how to troubleshoot. I just have a high-paying skill set, and I didn't have to go to trade school to get it. I learned on the job. I just showed interest, and I put in the work needed to be done. You might not love the job, but while you chase your purpose, it will pay you. Obviously, this is my purpose. This is what I want to do. Do I make enough money right now to just be like, okay, I'm going to quit my job and I'll be able to live my dream life? Not yet, but I'm getting closer every single day. And yeah, my job pays my bills while this funds my lifestyle and other things I want to do. So yeah. Confidence. Let's talk about confidence. A lot of guys lack confidence. And bro, I just found confidence within the last few years. I had to make a lot of changes. So most guys have low confidence or low self-esteem because they've been through a lot. They've taken a lot of L's. They've been rejected. And you know, your first 7 years of your life, I've read, it shapes you the most. So if you grew up the first 7 years of your life and let's say your environment wasn't the best environment, like maybe your parents weren't super supportive, or you know, maybe they didn't push you, or maybe they didn't support you, or it could be anything that happens to you throughout your life. It will mold the way you view yourself. You know, like if you've only been exposed to negativity and just people down talking to you and just being rude to you. And I went through a lot of this. You know, I was bullied a lot growing up, so my self-esteem was cooked. I just always thought I was going to be a loser. I never thought that I would win a life until I had to change my mindset. So how do I build confidence? Or how would you guys build confidence? True confidence comes from knowing yourself and achieving goals / having success over a long period of time. And this is pretty self-explanatory. Most people become confident after they go through. I mean, some people, they are blessed to where they're in an environment where they're always shown love and they were always praised and things like that, which can be good and bad. Which can be good because it'll give them natural confidence, but at the same time, it can also make people arrogant where they can't back up their confidence, and that's never a good thing. But okay, let's talk about learning yourself or knowing yourself and achieving goals and success, because a lot of people tell you what needs to be done, but they don't tell you how to do it. I believe in giving everything. So, how do you learn yourself? We often neglect alone time because it's uncomfortable and it also forces us to be with our thoughts. I used to run from this. That's why a lot of people struggle with meditation, because whenever you're meditating, it's boring and it's a little uncomfortable, because once you start to think about how you feel about your life and what's really in your brain, I don't know, it doesn't make you feel good, because we often try to distract ourselves with different things to stop us from having to face our problems. But once you sit down and face your problems, you learn a lot about yourself. You become a different person and you honestly start to get confidence. Like, you start to think, well, if I can overcome my own issues and my own struggles, I can do anything. And that's very true. A lot of people limit what they can do because they haven't taken the time to do this. So we have to embrace this, because this will teach us a lot about ourselves. And once we figure out flaws, we can address them, which will boost our confidence. Not only will, and this is like not even on the PowerPoint, not only that, but this will help us to understand other people, which will help us become more confident with networking, become more confident in business situations, become more confident in dating, every aspect of our lives. Because once we can understand why we do certain things, other people often are a mirror of ourselves. Like, as people, we are a lot more similar than we realize, right? So if, let's say, you're an insecure guy and you start dealing with other people that are insecure, you're going to be able to spot that from a mile away, and you're going to know how to deal with those people because you've dealt with your own insecurities. So let's talk about goals and success. People who are good at their interests are naturally more confident because they have done the work and seen the results. That's why I put purpose first. Whenever you are good at things that you care about, you naturally become more confident. And you're only going to boost that confidence because people are going to start coming to you for advice, right? Like, let's say you're really good at working out and you become very fit. People are going to ask you, hey, how did you become more fit? How are you this? People are going to start to look at you and respect you. And this is going to make you more confident, because not only are you going to get validation from yourself, but you're going to get validation from other people, which will create more opportunity for yourselves, which the more opportunity you have, the more successful you are, the more confident you are. It all goes in a full circle, right? So when you start to see results, that is proof to yourself and others that you are successful. It is hard to be confident when you believe you haven't done anything impactful. It's as simple as that. If you are living your life just doing meaningless things, how can you be confident? But when you start doing things that impact your life and impact the life of others, you have no choice but to be confident. We must start setting goals and reaching them. And I believe I talked more about self-setting goals and things like that, like how to make them obtainable and all that. So we'll keep rolling with the punches. Next is the physical. Most guys aren't ugly. They just are unaware of how to reach their full potential. I grew up being called unattractive. I was overweight. I had really terrible acne. I had a lot of things going on with me that made me unattractive, and it really just messed with my head a lot. So I always thought I would never attract the women I wanted because of how I had always been rejected. Whenever I started losing weight and being intentional about how I dressed and I presented myself to the world, my results changed. A lot of guys are very unintentional. It's hand in hand with living without purpose, right? So if you are a guy and you're doing things unintentionally, you're going to end up in a weird spot, because if you are just putting on clothes just to put the clothes on, if you're just going and not getting a haircut, not taking care of yourself, you're going outside any type of way, what message do you think you're sending to yourself, and what message do you think you're sending to others? You're basically sending a subconscious message of, I really don't care about how I present myself. Because people judge you on how you look. Women, employers, anybody. If you walk up to a girl and you have bedhead, you're not getting haircuts, you're not groomed well, you're not brushing your teeth, you don't have good hygiene, your clothes are all wacky, they're not ironed, you look sloppy, and that's how she's going to view you. Same thing with employers. If you walk into an interview, you're out of shape, you act like you don't care about yourself, you have no confidence, what is going to make them want to hire you? Because they're going to say, well, if they don't care enough to take care of themselves, they're definitely not going to care enough about this company or this opportunity. They're not going to want to be around you. So you have to start putting work into your physical, man. It goes a lot further than a lot of guys think. And growing up, my parents always instilled this into me, because I used to think, like, why do my parents care so much about if I have a haircut? Why do they care so much about how I dress? Why do they care about these things? Because as a kid, I just want to have fun and do whatever and live my life. And most guys never grow out of this, which is scary. But, start taking the time. It's just an extra few minutes to dress well, get that haircut, brush your teeth, get in the shower, get some fragrances, present yourself the best way you can, even if you're just running out to the grocery store, because you never know what you might see or what might happen. It's as simple as that. You could run into your dream girl, or you could run into a job opportunity that you didn't even expect. Just because you look nice, somebody could walk up to you and start a conversation. That's happened to me before. Like, people have walking up to me and talked about my style, or they like my fragrance, and it has led to business. It has led to friendships. It has led to relationships. So every guy should be working out and having a routine to improve their look, style, haircut, grooming, everything. This is so important. This will also add to your confidence, because when you look good, you naturally are more confident and you feel better about yourself. Because when you know you look good, bro, like, you walking around like Spider-Man when he got the Venom suit. When he first got the Venom suit on Spider-Man 3, he's walking around swinging his shoulders, pointing at girls. Y'all know the scene I'm talking about. If you don't, you can look it up. But the only thing that changed was his confidence and his physical. He changed everything about himself, and it just paid dividends. No more just winging it and doing whatever and wondering why you aren't looking the best or getting the best results. You can't just wing it, guys. The guys who are the most attractive, the guys who get the best results with their physical, those are guys who are intentional. You don't think that models or guys who women deem attractive or people deem attractive just woke up and said, yeah, I'm going to just walk outside and my hair is going to be this way, my fits are going to be this way. No, they took the time that 90% of the guys just refuse to take. Friend/circle. And oh my God, bro, this is so important, because I didn't realize this until like a couple years back. The people you spend the most time with, they play the second biggest role in your success and your failures, because you tend to adopt the habits of others if you are not careful. Okay, let's break this down. Okay, so when I say the second biggest role in your success and failures, obviously you are the number one indicator of your success and failures. You can't blame other people. If you are struggling, it is literally your fault. I don't care what your parents did. I don't care what happened to you. And I'm not saying this to like invalidate your feelings, but I'm saying you have to take control of your life in order to get the results you want. So if you are hanging around other guys who, they're victims, they don't have anything going for themselves, they don't have a mindset to put into work to get the results they want, if you are not careful, you will end up in that same situation. And I found myself in that. I love my friends to death, and this is not me bashing them, but I have to take breaks from being around people sometimes, especially some of my closest friends, because we just have two different perspectives on life. Some of my friends, they are okay with things I'm not okay with, and I'm not bashing them, and I'm not going to go into detail because I'm not trying to expose them, because I have love for my friends. I care about my friends. If they need me, I'm there, but I know for my best interest and what I'm trying to build, I just can't be around them all the time like I used to be. If you are the only person in your circle that wants better for yourself, it will make your process much more difficult. It's as simple as that. If you are trying to build wealth, if you are trying to get in shape, if you are trying to change your life, and you are around guys who don't care about that right now, they're going to make it hard on you, and it's going to be hard because you're going to want to do the things that they're doing, and you simply just cannot. Not that you're better than them, it's just for the path you're on, it's just not feasible. When you're trying to achieve goals, people will try to judge you or convince you to stay the same. Separate yourself. This is exactly what I mean. I love my friends to death, but whenever I am losing weight and I'm trying to cut, if we go out to a restaurant and I'm looking over the menu and I can't eat 90% of what's on that menu, they're like, oh man, don't worry about that, man. Just have some fun. We're hanging out, blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, you're eating something you know you shouldn't be eating. You're doing some stuff you shouldn't be doing. And now you've deviated from the path you were on. You were doing good. You were losing weight. Now you're eating junk food. Now you're down a rabbit hole you shouldn't be down. And it's not because they don't necessarily want to see you win, but other people try to encourage you to do what they're doing. And that's the problem with being around people who aren't doing positive habits. A lot of my friends at the moment do not care about bettering themselves, and I have to keep my distance even though I care about them. This is exactly what I said. A lot of my friends, they don't care about attracting women. A lot of my friends, they don't care about making more money. They don't care about getting in shape. That's just not what they care about. A lot of my friends just care about going out and having fun. And don't get it twisted. It's good to go out and have fun sometime, but your whole life can't just be fun. Some of your life has to be the work, because when you do the work, that's when you can really have fun. Think about it. If you've been having fun and you go on a vacation and you're broke, you can't do that much on vacation if you're broke. But if you do the hard work and earn money and do the things that will set you up for success, whenever you go on vacation, you'll have plenty of money and plenty of resources to have fun. So you have to decide, do I want to have fun now and suffer later? Or do I want to do the work right now and then I can go and have fun unrestricted? Building a circle of people who want more will not only boost your productivity. Bro, this is really good game I'm giving you guys. And I'm not gassing myself up. I wish somebody would have told me this. But it will create networking opportunity, and it will earn you more money to make you a better man. I highly recommend an accountability partner that holds you accountable. If you have a friend who wants better for themselves, be accountability partners with this. Like, this is something I wish that I had. Like, find somebody who wants something similar to you and you guys hold each other accountable. Do daily check-ins or weekly check-ins. Like, hey, bro, just checking on you. Did you go to the gym? How's this going? How's that going? Like, I have one guy at work that I do that with naturally, and it makes such a huge difference because he's an older guy. I'm 25. He's like 47. He's like a good 22 years older than me, but it really helps to talk to the conversations we have. It helps to keep me centered. It's always nice to have somebody going through the journey with you. Where to meet new friends like this, you can go on forums. If you're trying to achieve a certain goal, you can go on forums with other guys who are trying to achieve a certain goal and be like, hey, I'm trying to do the same thing you're doing. I really mess with what you're doing. Let's be accountability partners, or let's talk. Let's hang out sometime. Bookstores. If you see somebody in a bookstore, 9 times out of 10, they're trying to improve their lives, or at least they're open to receiving knowledge. Those are the people you want to be around. Or anywhere people go to improve their lives, just like the gym. People are working out, trying to improve their bodies, trying to improve their health. You don't want to go to clubs and bars and negative places looking for friends, bro. I'm just going to be honest, because most of the time, those are people who are just having fun. You want to find friends that you can have fun with, yes, but you also want to have friends that you can grow with. And when you can find friends that you can do both with, oh man, y'all are unstoppable. Social presence, okay? I put this right after friends because they go together almost. Your ability, I don't know why I said you ability. I don't know what I had going on. But anyway, your ability to socialize as a man is the key to every door. And well said, Bray. Well said, Axel. It is not what you know, but who you know, right? So that is a saying that I used to hear all the time. And now that I'm an adult and I work, I understand this. A lot of the guys in my job who are in their positions, who are in high earning positions, it's not that they're the smartest guys in the world. I'm going to be honest. It's no hate. It's more so that they knew people before we started working there, and then they got hired, and then they got moved up because of their networking. Like, if you know how to network, you can get opportunities you genuinely do not deserve. And I'm not being a hater or being disrespectful, but honestly, it's happened to me. There's been times where I got opportunities just because I knew somebody. Simple as that. And I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with that. It's as simple as that. But being able to socialize can bring you women. I'll explain. Okay, so if you know how to socialize, you're normally going to be good with talking to women. As simple as that. Talking to men and talking to women is not that big of a difference. Obviously, with women, it's going to be more intimate, but to attract women, if you have good social skills, you can make her laugh and show her a good time. You can attract women. You can also attract women by having a good social circle of guys. Because if you meet a guy who's good with women, he can bring women around. He can introduce you to women. It goes so much deeper than people realize. It can bring you money. Like I said, it's not who you know, what you know. If you can socialize with people with status and business knowledge, you can earn yourself business opportunities just by knowing how to talk to people, just by being passionate, just by being engaging and driven. Status. If you can, entertain people, if you can inform people, if you can bring value socially, then you will gain status. Because, when you walk into a gym and you see a guy who's talking to everybody at the gym, he's socializing with everybody at the gym, you look at that guy and you associate positive traits with this guy because a lot of people know him, a lot of people like him. He must be cool. There must be something good about him. And opportunities you would have never have received. Like I said, job opportunities, money, women's status, all of it. What is most guys' issue? They get in their comfort zone. They don't want to face rejection or come off as weird. There are times where, I wanted to talk to somebody, whether I like something they had on or I seen them doing something I was interested in, and I didn't approach them, men and women, because I didn't want to come off as weird and it made me uncomfortable. But what I realize now is, who cares? If you want to do something, you deserve to do it. So go do it. Like today, I went to Publix. I went to grocery shop. I was coming down the aisle and I passed this guy and he had on a Cobra Kai shirt, right? A Cobra Kai is one of my favorite shows on Netflix, right? He had on a Cobra Kai shirt. The old me would have seen the shirt and just like, damn, I like your shirt, and just kept walking. But me now, I literally looked at him. I said, oh, bro, that's a dope ass shirt. I like that shirt. We had some small talk. It was a friendly chat, and I went about my day. And I felt pretty good after the conversation, and I'm sure he felt good. I gave him a compliment that might have made his day, and me and him had just a good, genuine conversation. And it could have led to a business opportunity. It could have led to new friendship. It could have led to anything if I wanted it to become that. But I was in a hurry in this situation, so I didn't press it. But yeah, it's just good. It's just good to be able to socialize. I understand because I felt this way a majority of my life, but as I became more social, my life started to change completely. I make more money and I am naturally more happy. I'm trying to read too fast. Okay, so yeah, it's just like I said, at work, I have socialized with different people and it's opened doors for me. A guy who helped me get my job was my BioWorks, my certificate teacher. He was a family friend, but I started socializing with him a lot more during the class, and he put in a good word, which helped me get hired. So just by me being social, just by me being nice to him, I opened the door. The Wolf of Wall Street is a movie that I feel like every guy should work or watch because it shows you how to work with good social presence. Jordan Belfort, aka Leonardo da Vinci, he literally used his social skills to sell people stuff, to sell people the stocks, and he became a billionaire, I believe, or a multimillionaire, just by knowing how to talk to people, just by engaging with people and making it feel like what they wanted was important to him. Where other stockbrokers were telling people, oh yeah, you should buy this stock, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. He was like, no, you should buy this stock because I know you want to be rich. I know you want to retire your family. I know you want to buy that boat. I know you want to do this. And this stock, it will help you do this. You need this stock, right? So it's beyond just selling and trying to make money. Now it's personal. Now it's like, damn, this guy actually cares about me. This guy wants the most for me. And that will make people bend over backwards for you. When they think you have their best interest at heart, it will make them bend over backwards and do triple backflips for you. How to become more social. Set daily goals of talking to people and figuring out what makes you socially attracted to someone. Engaging, asking questions, making eye contact, smiling, being able to repeat what someone tells you, being passionate about your life. What I did was I used to be socially awkward. When I used to work in a clothing store, I used to literally sit in my section of the store. I would fold clothes for 8 hours a day and I would go home. And I'm like, damn, bro, like this is boring. I hate my job. I hated it. But what made me change was one day I was like, yo, like, I want to become more social. Like, there was a supervisor I had at my job. Everybody loved him. All the girls that worked there loved him. The customers loved him. The guy coworkers loved him. And I'm like, what makes him so special? Why does everybody like him? Even me, I enjoyed talking to him. And what I realized was, it wasn't that he was such a great guy or he was so talented or gifted. It was he knew how to make people feel good. And people love being around people that make them feel good. Think about it. When you are around your friends, most of the time you feel pretty good, right? And if not, then you need new friends. And I said, okay, how does he make people feel good? And I listed everything that I realized. I reverse engineered it. He's engaging. He knows how to make eye contact. He knows how to conversate with people. He knows how to make you feel like you care about what he knows how to make you feel like he cares about what you're talking about. You could be talking to him about Legos. This man's like, oh shit, that's cool, bro. Like, how did you get into Legos? Where did you get this from? It's like right now, I'm excited about what I'm talking to you guys about. I'm excited about helping you guys find solutions, which does what? It makes you want to watch. It makes you feel like I care versus me getting on here and just making it like, oh, I'm trying to sell you something, or, oh, I don't care about what you have going on. I'm just trying to get views. No, I actually care. Asking questions. Whenever I talk to people, I'm learning now I need to ask them questions and make the conversation more about them. People love to talk about themselves. So in order to utilize that to my benefit, okay, you like talking about yourself? I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to sit here and listen. It's simple as that. Because whenever you can ask open-ended questions, not just yes or no questions. Let's say you're on a date with a girl, right? And she starts talking about how she likes to travel. Okay, if I'm just like, oh, okay, what was your favorite place to travel? And she's like, oh, I went on a trip to Greece. It was really fun. If I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now I change the subject or I start talking about myself, I'm leaving interaction on the table. I'm leaving engagement on the table. No. Okay. You like going to Greece? Okay, I heard Greece was pretty cool. What was your favorite part? I don't think it was that great. What was your favorite part? Like, just teasing them or just getting them to talk more about it. Why is this your favorite part? Going deeper. You want to go deeper, not wider. No Diddy. What I mean by deeper, not wider is, I mean, you want to take 2 to 3 topics in a conversation and go and drill as deep as you can. That is way more effective than talking about 10 different topics. Because if you're talking about 10 different topics with somebody, you can't be going that deep because you must talk about something. Okay, let's move on to this. Let's move on to that. That messes up the flow of the conversation. Go as deep as you can because that makes people feel like you care. That allows deeper level conversations. And the deeper the level of the conversation is, the deeper the connection will be. Making eye contact. If I'm talking to you in real life and I'm looking all over here, down here, up here, it's going to make it like I'm focused on something else. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone where you're talking to them and it seems like they're zoned out or they're looking at something else? It makes you not want to talk to them because it's like clearly they don't care about what I have to say. But when you're looking someone in the eyes and you're smiling and you're engaging, it's like, damn, they're locked in. Like, I'm not wasting my breath here. Being able to repeat what someone tells you. If you tell me, like, let's say we meet in January and we met at some type of convention and you were telling me about how you got into working out because you used to be obese, saying, you know, you wanted to change your life and all this. And let's say one day we're having a conversation. I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember you told me you used to be obese, so that's why you did this and this. It makes people feel good because it's like, damn, they were listening. Damn, they cared about what I had to say, especially women. And another thing about being social is finding your purpose in everything I told you in this, because when you become passionate about your life and people can ask you about your interests and you can talk about them much more passionately, it attracts people to you. It's just like, prime example, if I'm telling you guys about information, I'm putting you guys on game to something. If I'm sitting here and I'm just like, yeah, so if you want to become better at socializing, you want to just go out and talk to people because you guys are going to click off the video. I had a video, I reacted to this girl in the video, and the girl was physically attractive, right? But you guys were commenting, she's so boring in the video because she was talking like this. She was doing this. Versus if she would have been like, oh yeah, guys, if you want to do this, or like I'm doing right now, hey guys, it's this way, it's that way, it's that way, where I'm talking to you like a friend. I'm being enthusiastic. I care about what I'm talking about. It is just more enticing, bro. You just have to know how to have interest in your conversations. It's good energy. Women, if you do everything we spoke about so far, you will become a natural with dating women. It will just be a byproduct. Like, you will be good with women without even realizing it. Like, I have a lot of women coworkers and stuff that they generally like talking to me, and I never realized why. Like, I just never really thought about it until one day I'm like, it's weird. Like, the women here, they talk to me more than they talk to other guys, and it's not because I'm more physically attractive. I mean, it could be that, but I genuinely understand this because I know how to talk to them. Where most guys are boring, they don't have anything to talk about, or they suck at conversating. I'm a great conversationalist. And the fact that I'm a great conversationalist, it makes women want to talk to you because women love to yap. So whenever you can sit there and make them feel heard and engage with their yapping, they're going to want to be around you all the time. Looking good, having confidence / game, having income, and a good social circle will make you much more attractive than the average guy. With women, it's 50% appearance, 25% social, and 25% income. Believe it or not, a lot of guys put too much emphasis on income, but leading with money only gets you finessed. I have a whole video where I was talking about money won't save you. With 50%, with women, the reason I say it's 50% appearance is looks get you in the door. We're not going to deny that. Looks are very important because when a woman first sees you, that's all she can judge you on. Because if you don't look right, you're not going to get a chance to display your other skills. So you have to make sure the look is on point. 25% of it is social because the social aspect really is more than that, but it's hard to put it in 3 categories. So that's why I said 25%. But if I'm being honest, being social will make women love you. That's why a lot of guys who are good with talking, they're good with women. It's as simple as that. That's why they say you need to have game, because you can talk a woman out the draws. If we're being honest, you really can. And 25% income, obviously you need some type of income to be able to go on dates and do other things like that. But guys, yeah, your social matters. Being able to look good will get you in the door, and having the game of confidence will make you stay on her mind. She will think about you all the time. You will be living in her head rent free. I have a free ebook talking about how to attract more women in the description. This video isn't necessarily about getting women. That's why I'm not going overboard with the details. But in my free ebook in the description, it will tell you guys my whole life story with women and how I attract more women. Conclusion. If you can follow these steps, I can assure you that you will see results and your life will completely change in a matter of months. It's not all about consistency. It's all about consistency, not speed. Jesus, I need some reading lessons. But what I'm basically saying to you guys is a lot of guys are trying to find the quick results. There is no short-term quick result that's going to give you what you want. And it's not going to last if you find something. It's about doing the same thing over and over and over a period of time. You will get better. You will stand out, and it will become second nature because it has become a part of your routine. Don't go for speed. Go for consistency. I have a free ebook in the description giving you guys a blueprint of how my life changed, and you can swap out the information to fit your own life and solutions or situations. I am just giving you guys what I did, and you can kind of tailor it to fit yourself. You might be dealing with different struggles than me, but the information works all the same. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I do offer consultations. The first one is free. So it'll be completely free. It'll be like 30 minutes. You guys can talk to me about what you want to work on. I can help you build a plan. We can do weekly or monthly check-ins, however your financial situation is. And I can be like your accountability partner. I can help you guys out in whatever way you need me to. You can reach me either by email, askaxelblack@gmail.com. I answer every email, or my Instagram, ELBRVY. Like I said, I answer DMs, I answer emails. Let's work together, bro. Hopefully this video helps you guys out a ton. I hope I can bring you guys some value. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.